I wanted to write the book to start the conversation, to make it safe to talk about. And I also wanted to share some of the research that I had done, because after my mother died, I felt really guilty. I felt sad that I lost her, but I also felt guilty because I'd been her health care surrogate. I'd helped her die the way she wanted to die, and now she was gone. And all I could hear were the words of the doctor in my ear saying, "I wouldn't let my mother do this." And I said, "But doctor, what do you mean, let her do it? This is her life." And she just said, "I wouldn't let my mother do it," and she stormed away. And frankly, the doctor was the last person to come around in accepting my mother's decision not to pursue aggressive treatment, but rather to try to die peacefully on her own terms instead. I can be back in her hospital room, and I can feel the fight that we had to go through together in order for her to have her passing. The story of death is with capital D. This is a universal story. This happens to everybody. But once she got to the hospital, she started to tell people what she didn't want. And time after time, she got exactly what she didn't want. At the point where she was saying, "I'm dying, it's okay, you can let me go," and the doctors were still saying, "But we have one more thing we can do, it's experimental surgery." And I'll tell you, the only reason she had consented to do anything is because, quite frankly, she thought she was going to die on the table, and then people would let her go. Because the family was fighting her, the doctors were fighting her. She asked me to be her spokesperson, because she was tired of fighting, and she didn't want to do it anymore. So I told her it would be the hardest thing that I ever did. She said, "That's why I asked you, and not your brothers, not your sister, and not your father." When my mother went in the hospital, she told them right away that she didn't want any of these machines she was connected to, that couldn't they just put her down? She put her dog down once, and she said, "I knew I was joking around, but they looked at me like, 'No, ma'am, we can't put you down.'" She said, "Well, we do it for our dogs. I mean, we loved our dogs. Why can't they do that for me?"